Welcome back to Demo Showcase. I'm your host, Bina. And if you're craving some epic fantasy, mind-bending sci-fi action, you're in the right place. So sit back, relax, and let's dive right in. Funky beats, striking characters, and a hefty cash prize. All you gotta do is get into your opponent's head. Literally, Mindwave is a psychedelic experience to the senses, wrapped and warped into a series of minigames. There is everything to lose and everything to gain as you delve into the minds of your opponents and conquer what the game's Steam page aptly labels as a cerebral microgame frenzy. The game's main feature is its story mode, and it's time for the Mindscape Tower's annual Mindwave tournament in Blackout City. You play as a young team named Pandora, determined to make her way to the top and earn that cash prize. Before the first round, Pandora and her friend and fellow bandmate Smalls can interact with other competitors. Some of them you will have to face, and talking to them can give a lot of lore into who they are and maybe why they're competing in the first place. Per round, Pandora has to link up to her opponent and combat the chaos in what is definitely a chaotic onslaught of minigames representing the opponent's thoughts and feelings. The mechanics change a lot per minigame but follow a general rule. Some games require only the mouse, while others require the classic directional buttons as the main medium. Heck, sometimes they even combine both. The rounds don't tell you what you're up against, so the game keeps you on your toes as you plow through one minigame to the next to make it to the boss. There's something satisfyingly mind-effing when entering someone's mind, because of the stark contrast in artistic vision depending on whose head you're entering. While it does have a universal aesthetic that follows the outside world, the minds of other contestants, including your own, take on different visuals that are also striking and stylish. You can be in a sketchy black and white mindscape now, then a hyperactive unicorn covered bunnies and rainbows acid trip in the next. Aside from story mode, the demo also has Mind Select, where they offer an endless mode. Basically, go through all of the unlocked brain stages from the game until your brain combusts. Until you lose. This game is definitely well loved, as the project was successfully backed on Kickstarter. The demo already hyped what the other minigames and opponents could be like, how different each mind could be. With its kaleidoscopic visuals and irreverent writing, the game is trippy and filled with adrenaline, and it makes you want to play more and more. Net Raiders is a cyberpunk roguelike deck builder where you are thrown into the remnants of a ruined virtual world. Survive a sprawled out dungeon and collect and synthesize your deck of cards to make the best strategy to make it out alive. The pixel art in the game gives a lot of character with the striking blue and red tones that are popular in the cyberpunk design. The playable characters available in the demo and even the enemies you must face on the map have a lot of fun designs too. To be honest, I wouldn't mind stealing a few looks or two. Yes, even the robot head. The game incorporates roguelike elements into the main deck building mechanics. There are a lot of cards to utilize, all with different abilities. One interesting mechanic to the cards is maturity. The longer a card stays in your hand can drastically affect its usability or nature. Delving into the dungeons, you will be beset with branching options on which path to take. You can encounter normal to elite enemies, campsites to rest, or upgrade existing cards in your deck, shops to purchase consumables and new abilities, and random encounter rooms to either help or hinder your journey. When you've used all the cards up your sleeve and game over, the dungeon resets, so you will not have the same experience in the dungeon crawl twice. This roguelike cyberpunk number is intense, fun, and addicting, with a bunch of cards to utilize and a banger soundtrack hyping you through danger. You'd want to keep that blood pumping with Net Raiders. We cannot wait for the full game to release and show us what other cards it has up its sleeve. We have a mystic game for you that draws into the primal magics of old Slavic lore. Enter Baba Yaga as she uses her abilities to contend with the king's forces, whose purpose is to seek her and tear her and her magic down. The story portioned into two multiple acts. The game has a classic turn-based fantasy appeal with its 2D style, coupled with the drawn portraits of the characters. To harness her powers in her quest to collect more souls, Baba Yaga's abilities are powered by her emotions. As you play, you start to realize that different emotions are able to channel different spells you can wield against your foes. The demo gives you 3 main emotions to harness your spells from: hatred, sorrow, and spite. Spells or moves from hatred have a big punch to them and deal lots of environment-centric attacks. Crimson Tears, a move drawing from sorrow, is an eerie move that makes a target receive damage at the end of its turn. Spite spells can cut quick and deep, like dealing 200% damage to isolated targets, or hexing a target to receive more damage. Out of combat, players are put into a map that forks out the different directions of the road. You get to decide where to go next, text, and can do a variety of actions. You can learn a new spell, expand your reserves of mana to do more spells, acquire a perk for that extra edge in battle, or recover your health if you've been battered and bruised too hard from your last encounter. With a foreboding vibe but a charming turn-based fantasy eye, Baba Yaga looks like it's shaping to be a fun and classic fantasy game that puts a spotlight on its titular character. It lets the game mechanics, most especially the battle mechanics, use the character's emotions as a powerful arcane conduit. So if you're a fan of witchy, esoteric things, Baba Yaga might just be your vibe. That's all for now. If you want to check out these games, the links are in the description. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe for more demos and gaming content. This has been Bina, and I'll see you in the next one.